Welcome back to Mobility Prosthetics YouTube page. Today we're going to be talking about the KNEURO microprocessor knee from a company called BrainRobotics. It's a new knee that's been on the market for a little bit now, but it is pretty cool and we'll go through it now. A couple things off the bat on this KNEURO knee. I'm wearing it with the Oser low profile flex foot with torsion, and so that just gives you an idea of what foot I'm wearing. But the knee comes in two different colors. So it comes in this color, which is kind of a dark gray graphite-ish color, and comes with a black pylon, or it comes in a white pearl color. The clinical lady that was here calls it Stormtrooper white, which I really like. That's a cool name if you got a Stormtrooper leg. So it comes in those two separate colors of frame. And also at the moment right now, they are working on a protective cover, and that is in active development and should be here soon. And so you can see this is a demo knee. It's a little bit beat up here. Again, it's a demo, so I won't hold that against them at all, but having a cover around there probably would be super beneficial to patients. It has a button on the side. So this button is an on-off switch. It can change your modes. It also can lock out in full extension. So right here I'm fully extended and now I'm locked. So that thing isn't going anywhere. You see if I lift it up, it doesn't move. And then you get it out again, just fully extended. And now I'm off and swinging. Another cool thing about this knee, it comes with 5-day battery life, at a full charge. You can turn it on and off, so that kind of allows you to stretch that battery life if you need to. But also, the charger is a USB-C back here, and so that is obviously for all of us that live with these things, that is super handy to be able to plug it in, anywhere, anytime. If I forget my charger traveling, I can go get one at the airport, I can get one at the gas station. USB-C is, universal as it gets now. And so having that in your knee is super helpful. Aside from that fully extended lock, I personally, if you've watched some of these videos now, I love a Flexion lock. And so this has that. You can lock it flexed at certain angles once you get there, and then hold it. Now it's locked and it's not going anywhere until I go back to full extension. So again, that's really nice. If you're if I'm standing here against the wall or something, I'm locked, it's not going anywhere, I know that I'm safe, and it's a really comfortable, flexed, relaxed standing, and that is awesome. That is awesome. From the practitioner side, it does come with different flexion stops back here, so if you can see here, I kind of make contact a little bit when I'm fully bent, so I'm trying to be conscious of that. But it does come with other flexion stops, so if you are contacting the socket there or anything, you can put those other flexion stops in and solve that problem. And then just one more little quick practitioner note, it is PDAC approved as well, so reimbursement should be pretty simple. So this knee has quite a few functions that are they're not unique in any way, but they're kind of unique to where this knee slots in against other devices. So the first thing that I really like about it is that it is easier to initiate its swing phase. So when you're standing, it's easy to get the knee to swing. And so all knees are looking for certain criteria to get a swing, and most of it is that you want, from a patient standpoint, really basic, dumbing things down, not dumbing things down, really making it simple. Really what your knee is looking for is to be fully extended, so we're locked out completely, and then we're getting far enough out onto the toe that the shank, which is, our main leg, is leaning forward and momentum is coming forward. And so that's really standard on any microprocessor knee. But what that means from a user perspective, especially new amputees, you have to stay on your prosthetic longer than feels comfortable and get onto the toe farther than feels comfortable to get that good swing initiation. And so this knee walks really smooth. When I walk my natural strides, it gets good swing initiation and opens up. But I have seen a lot new amputees really struggle to get a lot of new knees to swing because it takes a lot of good feedback into that foot. This leg is cool because it is super sensitive to that. So it still needs all of those same parameters. It's looking to be fully extended. It's looking for that shank forward lean and the momentum moving forward, but it's way more sensitive. So if I want to stop and take a really short step, I can get it to swing pretty easy. Which again, for new amputees, this is really helpful just to help them understand where that toe off point is and where that point gets the knee to swing. And then once somebody has an understanding of like how these things function and they feel it a few times, then it gets a lot more natural and easier for them. But having this more sensitive controller allows to get that feeling earlier and easier without as much effort and uncomfortable feelings from a new amputee. And so I really like that a lot because it just helps them get a better understanding of how MPKs in general function. This knee does, pretty well is stance flexion, stance knee flexion. So as I'm walking, instead of walking and landing fully extended out and getting all of this extra extension out of my hip and then pulling over, I can get that nice, comfortable flexed land. So I land flex there and then back to extension and roll over. And a lot of knees are coming out with this function now. I think it's our job as patients and practitioners to make sure that it's being utilized because it really is a more comfortable, healthier way to walk. But it's a little scary because having a little bit of bend in your knee, landing on a flexed knee is intimidating to us above knee amputees. That's typically an unsafe place, especially when we're in therapy and learning about how to walk. And so trust me that these knees are gonna support you, which they will. You can see this thing supports me all the way as I push into that. But I'm really getting that good stance knee flexion, which creates a more comfortable gait for my back and my hips and everything else. And this knee does that pretty well. Another cool thing, I don't have access to the big ramp today, but a cool thing about this knee is the extension spring that it has in there, and I'm not gonna get too technical on things, but going up ramps especially, a lot of times it's hard for us as above knee amputees because we have to really kick this thing forward as we do all the time, but then once we're going uphill, gravity is fighting against us a little bit more too. So this knee is really good at, and it is noticeable, of it gets out there when you are going up an incline. The extension assist is pretty rapid and pretty fast. So it's easier for you to get that foot out in front of you as you're coming up the incline. Oh, that's out there and good, and now I can pull over and get up the hill. And so having just that little bit quicker extension really does make a big difference on that. And then coming down hills is still just yielding the knee like a lot of other MPKs, but it's comfortable and safe and feels comfortable. Another super cool functional thing about this knee is its walk to run mode. And so it obviously recognizes when you're gonna go from walking to running anytime. You don't have to switch that from the button or in the app or anything. And I'm not a big runner, so I don't use this really. I'm gonna try to give a quick demo, and it won't look pretty because like I said, I'm not a runner, but having this for me is super nice. If you've been watching these videos, I've got a 5-month-old baby at home, and one of my biggest worries is, and was before she was born, was what happens if she runs in the street or something and I can't get there in time. So having I wouldn't ever be running. I wouldn't go sign up to do a 5K and run on a microprocessor. I would not run on the KNEURO, but having the ability to go from walking in my everyday life and get a couple quick steps or a little jog to go chase my daughter down or something is super helpful. And so it is just a little bit faster step. Here's a walk step, and you can see the knee. It's kind of hard to see in this short little one step, but the knee kind of opens up and swings freer. So that really is all that you want when you're running, is just kind of a free swinging knee, so you can really kick that extension out and get it in front of you. And so that is another great function of this knee. that is kind of unique for where the category that this knee is in. Another really cool function of this knee is it Stair's step over step mode. So we've seen this on a couple knees now. But what is cool about this again is kind of the category that this knee is in and who it's for. Having this stair step over step ability is really nice. I use it all the time. I know that it's hard. I know that it takes a lot of practice, but it helps things be more natural. And so being able to do, stair step over step to me really is a big deal. And so this knee, you can see, maybe it kicks up kind of high, and you can adjust the angle that it lands at. So if I get it here, I could adjust it if I want it to stop. There it locks at a certain point. But I could adjust this angle so that it's landing flex back here, flexed up here. And so that helps me adjust where I want to be on the step and be able to step up. And then stair descent, same thing, just kind of yielding that knee with half your foot on the stair, but you kind of get the idea there. Another cool thing I like about this knee is if you wanted to, you don't have to have your foot on the ground to get the knee ascent mode. You could be off the ground and if I really wanted to get crazy, I could take a first step with the prosthetic. So I could scoot that there, get that up. And then over here on some smaller steps, just to give you an idea. And we'll come back the other way for you. And just these nice yield steps. And then we've also got a sitting function here where we're riding that knee yielding down, which makes for a nice controlled, comfortable sit. That knee stiffness is tied to the stair descent, the ramp descent, and so that's kind of all those speeds are what you're gonna get, but as you can see, that's a nice, comfortable, controlled sit. So that's KNEURO from BrainRobotics. It's a really cool knee. I think that it's probably for somebody in a category around my activity level, someone like me. It's really a high functioning like K3 knee. It works, I think, like because the like short step stuff and that like the sensitivity of the controller, I think that it makes it a great knee too for like that high K2 or somebody K2 with potential to work into a K3 zone. I think it's a great knee for that as well, because like I was saying earlier when I was taking short steps and stuff, it's easier to get the feel of it. It's easier to understand what it's looking for. It doesn't take quite as much effort from the user. And so that gives the user a good understanding of how it's going to function. And then with its walk to run and stair step over step and things like that, that obviously makes it a super functional knee. That really in the category that it's in, there aren't a lot of knees that offer those things. And so it's nice to have something like that that maybe, typically the knees that have stair step over step and walk to run are going to be either a battle with insurance or it's going to be tough to pay for. And this knee really kind of fills both those categories where, yeah, it's a really safe, stable knee and affordable knee, but then also it has some of these extra features that kind of push it over the top and give the user a lot more function. I think that yeah, getting a cover from them would be awesome. You can kind of see, like I said, this is a demo device, but it is a little beat up. I know myself personally, if I was wearing this all day, every day, I would bang this thing up on things and, kneeling and all that type of stuff. So getting a cover would be super nice. But I do like that it comes in a black and white version. I probably personally would never choose a white version, but it is nice. It looks really nice, and I could see how a lot of people would want to choose that. And so having that option is a nice option. It's nice to have a little bit more customizable things for us. They're our body parts, and so having that is really nice. All of the locks are really nice. Having that button on the side, the app is really user friendly, both from the clinician standpoint and the user app are really intuitive and simple to get through, and it's simple to set the knee up. It's simple to, from the user side, to switch to modes and all of those types of things. And so I really like that a lot. BrainRobotics is a relatively new company. This is kind of their first device on the market. They should be coming with some feet soon, but this is really their focus. And so having a company that is really focused on this one device is nice. It's just nice from my perspective to be able to have somebody, a company that is really, they just want to make sure that this is right and it's good for the people that they're engineering and building it for. And they've been super helpful with me, trying to understand the knee, and so I've really enjoyed working with them and look forward to doing more stuff with them in the future, because I like kind of the philosophy of things that are going on there. And so it's a cool knee, it's a cool company. If you would like to get a demo, they'll send you a demo out, and they'll let you, try it on a few patients and see how it goes. See kind of the difference between, like, how easy is it for that patient to initiate that toe off in swing phase, and is it easy for them to go upstairs step over step? How much do they have to work to initiate that lifting mode? And so it's a cool device, having the flexibility of USB-C and 5 days and power button. All these things are really nice. If you would like to check it out, here is the BrainRobotics website, and I will also link that in the description. If you have any questions, here is my email, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.